All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about the whole controversy surrounding Nike and their 30th anniversary for the Just Do It campaign, in which they enlisted Colin Kaepernick and Serena Williams and other athletes to kind of, commemorate that 30 years of Just Do It. But also, in these times, these political tense times, they are stepping boldly, progressively endorsing these athletes who have been subject to a lot of controversy because of their, literally because of their blackness. But in Colin Kaepernick's example, like for kneeling before the games. And Serena Williams, I think she is often discriminated against because of her blackness, her body, her attitude, her whatever, just everything that intimidates whiteness. So, and of course, without missing a hitch, people have decided to boycott Nike. People are outraged. How dare a corporation, endorse people, who are really on the right side of history, who are doing nothing wrong. Really just upsetting that whiteness. But really, what they're doing to me is they are Nike. What Nike is doing to me is they're playing both sides of the fence, They also have a long history of sponsoring different sporting events. I think the U.S. Open, the French Open, the NBA, the NFL. So they have a lot of clout with these organizations. And I'm sure this kind of signals to the NFL in particular, we need to do something about this because now, our sponsors are about to, are policing us in some way, or they may pull out, which I don't think so, because of course it's all about money and Nike is making hell money. So the NFL wants to keep making money, so it's going to do what it's going to do. That's the thing about corporations. Like, they technically have rights as people, but they don't have the moral understanding or the moral character that humans have. So they're going to do what's best for their bottom line, most of all. And so this, of course, it appeals to younger people. It appeals to, black people, people of color who see this, this gesture as them taking a stand, or them saying where they are, But also, this is the same Nike that has hella human rights, human rights violations against them in other countries for their sweatshops and how they treat their workers. Like, this is that same company. So doing a good thing here, but not doing a good thing over here. So it's hard for me to just be like, oh, well, good job, Nike. Good. You're doing good, Nike. That's cool. That's whatever, right? But I don't know. Capitalism always comes up. It always comes, and that's the difference between human ran shit and corporations. Like, they are just not going to have that moral standard. They're just those moral ethics. I just bumped my table, but yeah, so now people are boycotting Nike and they're burning their fucking Nike apparel and shoes, and they're cutting up socks, and they're doing all this shit. They're mad. They're raging, they're raging with these fires. This is what I'm saying about the whiteness. When I referenced the whiteness earlier, this is what the whiteness is. Like, it's not, of course, it's not all white people, but you see it, right? You can't ignore it. I'm not making this up. This is not something that, black people or people of color just make up. Like, you see it. It's happening live right now over over Nike. Like, this is what got their blood boiling. Never mind those human rights violations. Never mind the sweatshop labor. Never mind that shit. But you got black people who we don't like as the face of your campaign when they've been just doing when they've been just doing the best in their field, or at their sport or whatever they're doing. And this is what riles up the whiteness. I was watching this video on YouTube, and this man was saying, like, he couldn't wait for the war, like, as he was burning his shoes. Like, he couldn't wait for the upcoming war because he's ready to, like, kill people. He's ready to kill people. Like, this is how strong, we are right now in this country. Like, the Nike ad campaign just, like, summarizes everything that's going on with the moral ethics of this country right now. People are on both sides. Like, shit, let me stop saying that. But there is, a lot of resistance growing on both sides, and I do feel like there is going to be some kind of culture clash, some kind of cultural war that has already begun. But it's like right now we're in the thick of it, and it's funny that Nike, again, I bring this back to Nike. Nike sees this, and it's going to still profit from it. Like, it sees the culture war that's happening, and it's projecting that after the war, people are going to be running, they're going to be playing games, they're going to, they're going to need Nike apparel and shit, or they're going to remember that Nike had that campaign, and they're going to play their part to be on that side. They're just going to play their part to be on that side. And most people are so gullible. Like, most of us, we're just so, like, caught in this, in our day-to-day lives that we just see what looks good or what looks bad, and that's where we go. We're so polarized. Like, we don't take any time to really critically think, rationally think, and then, like, rationally come up with solutions that are rational. Like, and that's the thing, like, clearly there is no debating with someone who's burning their Nikes right now. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. There's no, like, I don't know, like, you've already paid for the Nikes. Like, you've already contributed to this brand that you hate now. And you choose to burn. That's what I'm saying, like, the whiteness. You don't even realize, like, you choose to burn it because you're rageful. And you're in, like, that rage has a long history in this country. A long history. It's exactly why those black athletes upset you so fucking much. Like, it really is. And here it is. Here it is. And Nike is making money from it. So, yeah, I got this side-eye Nike. But, good props for Kaepernick for shit, man, starting a fucking movement, like really starting a movement with just one gesture, one small gesture that has, cost him his career, but has also catapulted him into human history as someone who just took a stand and is now paying the price for it. And people will be like, well, he's still rich or he's still that. And it's not always about, like, oh, he had to lose everything. Because he did. Like, he lost a lot. Like, this is somebody in the prime of their, peak performance for their sport or for their whatever. Like, this is his prime time. And he lost that. Like, he could never get that back. I'm not equating that with money, at all. This is something he probably worked for and now he cannot have. So, and it's all because of a simple gesture that he did. One simple gesture that I know a lot of black people, like, if I could go to work and kneel instead of, like, having to silence or, quiet my rage, because I know what I'm saying, like, we're polarized, but black people have a rage too, because we've been so fucking nice for so long. We've been so polite. We've done everything that you told us to do. We've been respectable. We've gone to college. We've done all the things that you say makes us an American, a person, and yet, millionaires have to kneel on the field Or, you know, a millionaire has to go out on the fucking tennis court and whoop ass. But because she has a fucking cat suit on, it's disrespectful. So I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry that we will never be good enough for you, white America. But I really don't care, you know, I really don't care to be at this point. Like, I'm not. But Nike, at the end of the day, is still gonna make their money, and that's what makes America. You know, that's really what makes America, is profiting off of justice and equality and exploitation. So